Just make sure you mute it.
There, I muted everything. Should be good.
Okay, now you're not going to get video on me anymore because I'm
Okay.
going to switch to the video thing to use that.
Put this apple on your head.
All right. Sounds
Oh, right,
fine.
that's one thing I need to check. To make sure your audio and video is synced up.
Ooh, yes.
Because that would be awkward.
Just tell me what I need to do.
Well, you probably won't need to do anything. If it's off,
Excellent.
I just need to... What's the word? I can mess with that on my end.
I will spectate this incredibly exciting match then.
Awesome. Say something about what they're doing.
All right, so I'm watching a exciting match between Josh and Adam right now. We got what looks to be a face hunter against a mage with a bunch of mage cards. Let's see, this could really go either way
Face
right
hunter?
now. We got a
I mean, he's running
It's
Gladiator,
hard to
but
s-
it's got the Houndmaster. That's not...
and his trap is freezing trap. All right, I rescind that. It looks to be mid range.
I'm not sure
I'm
how
good.
much of a archetype Adam falls into. I don't know if he has the collection to be specializing.
Well, we'll see. He's got a lot of good hunter cards. They're all pretty solid. Let's see what he can do with that. All right, let's see if he plays the owl to clear. Oh nope, he's going to go ahead and pop the freezing trap. Right now, we got what looks to be a face hunter against a
Alright. Looks like you were good, so everything is
Excellent.
set up. Can you see the stream? Does it look...
I cannot see the stream right now. What do I need to do to pop that up? Twitch.tv/
Hearthstone
Hearthstone
Throwdown.
Throwdown. All right, here we go. Monday Night Throwdown with Bobby and Paul! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Yep, stream looks good.
Alright, so this is the hype night that you've all been waiting for. Anyone that's watching, I know there's at least 2 of you. Rock's out tonight because he skipped town after his losses from last week.
It's very tragic.
It's very tragic. But Paul's better dressed, so this is actually a plus.
For the bow tie.
Right now, we're watching Adam and Josh's match, waiting for the 9 o'clock Matt vs. Phil. I'm not sure which game they're on, but they're very even in this game.
This has been going back and forth quite a bit from the couple of minutes I've been watching it so far.
But unless Josh has something to remove here, that Tundra Rhino is going to cause a lot of problems next turn if he draws any minion. I mean, even without it, he's got a commanding board right now.
Yeah.
And there we
I
go.
kind of like this. I think it was worth it to Flame Strike here. And then when he, if he drops the
and there's
Great...
the Savannah.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
Okay, yeah. I feel like this is over for Josh now, because he just used his Flame Strike.
Oh, well, there's a Polymorph. That'll help. Flamewaker Polymorph. Or Polymorph Base. I feel like that order could have been done differently, but if he wants to get the Tall Strider out,
That's true.
that
he's
does
going
help
for that.
threaten board.
Although he is new, so this could very well have been a beginner misplay.
Very fair.
Not realizing that the Flame Waker would do its activation after he played the Polymorph, so it might end up pinging the sheep that he just hit.
Very true.
Unfortunate.
Getting rid of that Rhino would be a big deal as well. That's been causing some problems here.
Yeah, because he does like Glide Bazooka here. Nope, he's not gonna do Glide Bazooka.
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty much
Pretty
closed
much
out
over.
at this point.
So what would he, if he had gotten really lucky and done the Flamewaker polymorph and it hit both of them, then I feel like Josh would be in the commanding position here, because the Haunted Creeper by itself is nothing, and he would only have one dude for Unleash the Hounds, so pretty unfortunate misplay to not do the Flamewaker and then polymorph. But
it's hard to
he
say.
was mousing over it, so maybe he saw that for next time.
Yep, and there we go.
Yep. Now, if I change Skype,
Well played.
it will show that on the stream. So you should figure out if this is game 1, 2, or 3.
Let's see what I can do.
Decisively took that game. That's my dogs.
Wah, wah.
So do you have any speculation on, I mean, without giving away exact decks, but do you have any idea of what Matt's going to be bringing tonight?
Well, to be perfectly honest, if we assume that none of the current competitors are listening in on the stream right now, I can divulge a little bit of information.
Let's do that right when it gets close to 9, just in case Phil is trying to snipe. Well, Phil can't do anything about it.
No, Phil can't. His decks are locked in.
That's right. Well, Phil, don't listen if you're listening right now. Okay, what's the info?
All right. So, according to Matt, he's trying to bring decks that he can actually afford to have. He doesn't have a lot of legendaries. He's a free-to-play player and all. We're looking at probably a very solid mid-range hunter, and he's sort of been waffling back and forth on his second deck. He's been considering an aggro paladin, if you would believe that, for
Sounds
quite a
like
while today.
Secret Paladin. What makes that different?
No, it's look at it as face paladin. It doesn't run secrets. It runs charged
okay.
minions. We're looking at South Sea, Leper Gnome, Arcane
Okay,
Golem.
so like a old school aggro.
Yeah.
Pre the Mysterious Challenger. And by the way, even though he's a free-to-play player, he plays a lot, so I find it hard to believe that he isn't, rocking some stuff. Because he plays Arena all the time. He's good at it. I consistently see him. He was talking about his 12-win runs, his 9-win runs.
Yeah, he
He's
crafts the
just
cards that
really
he needs, but he's also mentioned that he doesn't disenchant any cards, pretty much.
That'll
So
do
he's
it.
got like 5 ofs and 6 ofs, completely worthless. But it's a
Wait,
collection
he
that
doesn't
not most people
disenchant
have.
any cards?
Yeah, I
Like,
know, right?
What about the extras?
No, he likes the extras.
This is a weird personality quirk that I'm just now learning about. He doesn't
Yeah, I know,
disenchant
it's-
any cards.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in the disenchant system or something, except when it's just enough to get to Doctor Boom. Most
Oh,
recently.
okay. So when the prize is good enough, his ethics about it can slide.
Well, yeah. Let's be honest. Doctor Boom's the best card in the game, so I think that's a good one to
Apparently,
make exceptions for.
I think Ken won. I'm not sure. I know that Ken and Hunter were playing earlier, and it was 1-1. I'm not sure who won that set, but
Let's see if we have any info in chat.
I know Hunter was really mad about it because of Dr. Boom taking out his 5-4.
All right, in chat it looks like Adam took that 2-0.
Good
So
job, Adam.
so their series is over now, and we can probably get going with the event of the evening.
Yes. Okay,
Coming up
it
here.
looks like Matt is on and Phil is on. Go ahead and throw that in the
Excellent.
chat that we're about to start the hype night.
All right.
And, let them know that they can start whenever they want.
Chat has been informed.
Let's build some hype. I used to have a let's get ready to rumble. Oh man. Oh man.
So I'm going to feel pretty confident in calling that the first match is going to be Phil's mid-range paladin versus whatever Matt thinks he can counter it with.
Really, you
Whether
think
that's
Phil's
the,
not going to run his stronger deck first? He made that mistake against Matt, running his freeze mage twice.
His freeze mage was his weaker deck though, compared to his control warrior.
All right, should we
That's
spectate
his-
Phil or Matt?
I'm gonna spectate Phil.
I'm going to spectate Phil because I feel like Matt's the more unknown here, and we want to get that the reaction. Oh, it's a hunter.
Whoa!
And you were
looks
right.
like he's starting with his hunter.
Mid-range is his paladin first.
I will fight with honor.
All right, let's see what the mulligans are here. I really like Matt's opening hand. I don't think he's going to toss much. He may toss something for a 1, and he may toss the Houndmaster.
So here, yeah, I would keep the shielded minibot. I would not keep 5 drops.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty straightforward toss.
For
He's probably
Matt-
waiting to see what Matt throws, though. They're both
Oh,
probably
man.
trying to feel each other out.
But Phil gave in first.
Not a lot better.
Matt did
Matt keeps his whole hand.
not mulligan. Wow, that's really confident.
That is scary for Phil. He's got to be sweating bullets right now.
So he's definitely pointing out something.
Funny creeper. All right.
Yeah, that's
Gonna try
smart.
to combo with knife juggler. Yeah.
Because he'll ping the shield. Best case scenario, both will hit, but honestly, yeah, I don't know if that's the best here. I was going to say knife juggler, but then he doesn't really get any benefit unless he's at 20% chance.
Ooh.
Oh, bad draw for the Elec. So what is Phil's game plan looking like with this hand? He has no early game, aside from what he had.
Well, Phil knows without a shadow of a doubt that it is mid-range hunter right now, because that Elec is not something you would see in a more face or a hybrid deck.
Ah, that's
So,
true, that's true.
He's probably feeling better playing his stable control game, and then he wants to close it out with the Quartermaster in theory, and then he's got in hand.
Ooh, Matt just blew the hunter's mark really early in the game. Normally,
Yeah, I don't-
you save that for like the major threats.
Yeah, in this matchup, I don't know if I agree with that, especially since Phil's got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming down here.
Yeah. I mean, and it didn't even have the intended effect. He was hoping that to get rid of the full board. Maybe he was afraid of a Blessing of Kings,
That's a possibility.
because on turn 4, a Blessing of Kings would deal a lot of damage there.
That's a great
Consecration
reaction.
also
Yeah.
deals a lot of damage.
That hurts.
Hmm.
All right. I feel like he's going to have to play the Houndmaster and into an empty board. He's not going to want to. Or he's going to juggle it, okay?
Interesting. So knowing that he wouldn't have a beast turn 4, and knowing that Houndmaster is the best play, I feel like Matt's best move would have been to try and keep the Hunter Creeper alive. You know, the Knife Juggler does
Yeah.
present a bigger threat on the board to the shielded minibot, so I feel like if he used his Hunter Creeper to take out the Silver Hand, Then it would be a 1/1 creeper with the knife juggler versus the shielded minibot. And in that scenario, you probably want to get rid of the... I don't know if you would rather take the chance that you hit the creeper and then the juggle takes down your minibot. So you get that
Yeah,
concentration.
that's a tough call. There was some randomness in that either way. But now he's going to drop just a car and have a really scary lead. He could
feel
Hero
like-
Power Quartermaster next turn.
He is quite in the lead here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really bad for Matt, only having that mad scientist on board right now.
Well, we know he's going to play Dr. Boom next turn. Ooh.
Reporting for duty.
And we are, I'd say, confident that Phil's going to play Tyrion next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he wants to go for a...
Could Hero Power Quartermaster
Or
right
Hero
here and
Power
get a
Quartermaster.
lot of value out of that.
That would be a
He could
lot.
he could do that and just go face and try to end the game.
Oh, true. Nope. Not.
He's got to control the board. I guess we should have known better on that one.
Yeah,
Alright,
Phil
he's
doesn't
gonna
know how to
give it
go
the secret,
face.
though. Alright, so now he'll BGH the Dr. Boom.
I've got the beast in my
I like the timing there, getting the juggler down for the extra knife. Alright, pretty good result.
reporting for duty.
Yeah, I don't know what Matt can really do at this point.
Those two
This is
Houndmasters
not
are
good.
dead in the water.
Though that Unleash the Hounds, that could combo pretty well with the
True, with the
Unleash. Yep, alright, here we go. Let's see what he can do.
But I feel like at this point he's run out of cards. I mean, unless he's running
Mhm.
a quick
We'll
shot.
have to have some pretty impressive top decks. Especially
shot into
given
quick
the
shot.
threats that Phil still has. Yeah, I don't think he has any choice but to trade, even though it's not going to end well.
Man, Knife Juggler's so good with that upgraded hero power.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just crack the Justicar because it's too.
Justicar's a really fun card. It's only great in a couple of decks, but it's fun in all of them.
I feel like it's just not explored enough in those other decks. You know, I like just playing weird stuff.
Yeah.
Shame
And the
it.
fact that the effect's permanent, it's really got a lot of interesting space.
Yes, which yeah.
All right. So yeah, I would like to see the Quartermaster here.
To arms, men.
Yep, there it goes.
He'll probably still control the board again. Just trade off the.
Will he get rid of the
the
beast? No, he won't. Not that it's
Mhm.
terribly important.
Web spinner's not going to help him much here.
You never know. Honestly, I don't know what he can pull from the web spinner that would win him.
Yeah, he's got to go face at this
Oh
point.
man, web spinner into King Crush. That's
That could do it.
That's his win.
That's an out.
Oh, what are you doing, Matt? You know you're out.
Put your faith in the Lord.
All right.
It's winning by face.
All right, owl or nothing.
Ow!
Reporting for duty.
Okay then.
Wow, wow,
And
wow.
a skill
And a
command.
kill command. Oh, you know what this means? Let me do the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If he had gotten him down 3, that would have put him at 9. Matt would have won if he had taken his weapon to the face because he could have kill commanded,
Yeah.
attacked for... He'll get 11 damage now, but it's not
Yeah,
enough.
he's going to be off. Yeah, and then he's just going to lay on hands and heal back up. But
Man,
man,
Matt, misplay. There's no way
Playing
you're
too
going
much
to beat
like Phil.
5 cards against Phil.
yeah. Well, that's it.
You can't out-control
To
Phil.
arms, men. Well played.
Dang.
Mm,
I wonder if
that
he
was,
sees that.
That was close. I'm sure he did.
We'll have to have.
I'm sure he did.
Sure he did after.
Back.
And he drew the perfect thing. Ah, that would have been the perfect out.
Yeah, that was literally the one card he could have gotten, and he got it. So, you know, the
Always play for that. win.
Hearthstone powers were giving him everything they could, but unfortunately, it was
But they
not
waited
enough
for
to
him
seal the
to.
game.
Yeah, they waited for him to be without hope.
Hmm.
It's like when the Tetris god waits to give you that line piece.
All right, let's get some stadium lights going on here.
Oh, awesome! Where did you even get that?
It's actually just a little flashlight I'm holding in my hand and shining on myself repeatedly. The effect looks pretty good though, so I'm going to keep doing it for another 10 seconds or so, get people hyped up. All right, back to the match. So I'd expect to see.
I will fight
Whoa,
with honor.
Matt changed
Oh,
his
he's
deck
turned
up.
up.
All right.
Interesting. I don't know how they. Well, ooh, he does start with. I don't know
Yep,
if he's gonna
he
keep
went
both
with-
divine favors.
He went with the aggro paladin up against Phil's final form, the golden control warrior. I think he tosses his entire hand here. He needs 1-drops.
No, I think he keeps the divine favor in hopes of getting 1-drops that he can just spill on the board and then.
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know how to play aggro paladin very well, so.
It's pretty weird. Not a lot of people do. All right, so let's see. He may just pass and try to
Bluff.
get a muster out on turn 2 or something, or just go face. I'm okay
He
with that.
knows that. Oh,
That Harrison
man.
Jones could cause some problems later on. I'm a little worried
Or
about that.
it could enable a superpowered divine favor.
Oh, I kind of like that play too. Let's see.
You never know. That's why I would have kept the divine favor. I mean, you know that against control warriors, they're going to be holding all their cards toward it until the later game.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of turns to draw into one of those divine favors, and he knows any turn is going to be a good time to play it. So
That's true.
I can
I
understand that.
hope he's not on the back foot here. I hope he's not letting Phil psych him out.
I think he'll be okay. He's just probably not as experienced with this matchup.
Reporting for duty.
So I feel like we're just going to see very straightforward, very aggressive play. I don't think he's going to be doing anything sort of mind gamey, but we'll see. Yeah, so he's hoping to get a Blessing of Kings down next turn and really gain some speed.
And it looks like he will, because Phil doesn't have any mass removal. He's got a lot of heavy removal. The slam can work. I feel like Phil's should be using the slam just for pinging right now.
Yeah, what Phil needs to realize is that Matt's deck is an aggro paladin and does not have any big threats that he needs to hold on to shield, slam, bash, or anything like that for.
See
He
that?
just needs
He
to
could
keep
lose
it
there.
as clear as possible.
Phil does not know how to. Ooh, what's
Well,
he doing?
if there's one thing Phil knows, it's how to control the board. But what Matt's doing here, I don't know.
Yes, what is he doing here?
Reporting for duty.
The light protects.
Maybe he's thinking that Phil is saving his big removal. Oh, and Phil draws the card he needed, the brawl. That sucks for Matt.
That's not too bad, though. I mean, of all the things that could get brawled, a bunch of 1/1s isn't as bad as, say, one of the Arcane Golems or anything with Blessing of Kings on it. So he may have just been trying to bait the brawl out here, and that was probably a desirable outcome.
Okay, but the longer the game goes, it is going to swing in Phil's favor.
Yeah. But let's see what Phil's got going on right now. He's
Okay, so
got
now
a bunch
he
of
knows it's
removal
aggro.
cards. Yeah.
Phil has to know it's aggro.
Yeah. Phil needs to start drawing some big threats to drop, otherwise he could be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, see, now he can just,
Both at play.
yep, Horse Rider, just go face.
That's true, he might just take him out. So what does Phil have to do next turn? I mean, I feel like that bash has to get played.
Yeah, Phil needs to armor up. Death Spite will help, but he needs to play that bash, and he needs to armor. Or he can't do both, actually. So, yeah, I like this. Yeah, he realized that he can spend his quality removal on these weak minions because that's all he really has to do.
And it's actually smart now that he knows it's aggro because he knows he's playing against a possible divine favor.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he's just getting rid of all that.
Unfortunately,
Where
Matt does not
are
have a weapon right
Matt's
now.
weapons? Ooh, I wouldn't even play the South Sea. It's gonna die. You wonder if he's thinking, do I play the consecration or not? I think that's what he's thinking.
Mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't play it here.
2 damage. Luckily,
Yeah.
I mean,
If Bill drops something else, he can equality consecrate.
yeah, that's what he's thinking. But every turn that he waits, he
Yeah.
is running the chance that Phil will draw into his Justicar.
Yeah, he really needs a charge. He really needs a charge or a
Weapon.
weapon right now. That'll get him really close. But it's just
Oh!
not- oh,
Here comes the
There's
double
the
armor
Justicar.
turn. I feel like the game just swung
Welcome to the grand tournament.
Phil's favor.
champion.
oh, that hurts.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got to equality consecrate here.
And then probably play the mini-bot as well.
Yeah, yeah, he can follow up with the mini bot.
This is what comes from not keeping a divine favor.
I guess so. Alright, so the thing with the mini bot is he can still buff that with Kings and Might, and that's +7 attack next turn.
Could. Oh, there's Baron.
It's gonna die like that. Alright. He can still draw a weapon. Alright.
Okay, so what's his play here? All his mana, right?
Mm-hmm. Go face, he can play the South Sea.
With Blessing of Kings and
Yeah.
Blessing of Might.
Or he could try to owl the Geddon to keep it from
But whatever he
I
does,
guess that doesn't matter.
it's
He can
going
still
to
swing.
die.
He can still
Yeah.
swing. Yeah. Yeah, because he can still swing in with the Geddon.
I mean, if anything, he knows the Geddon is going to stop. Ooh, interesting. I feel like you can't do that. I feel like you know that the hero power is giving him 4 health every turn. Should just gone for it, and really what he's hoping for here is a divine favor.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does have 2 of them in his deck.
Well, Phil gave him a minion on the board up until that. So he's got a cog hammer now.
He
so
still
that's,
has... okay.
That'll keep him in it because he can kill the Harrison with the cog hammer, and then go face with this.
I would just go face.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, let's see. It's gonna bring him up to. Okay. Okay.
oh, I know what you're saying.
Sludge Belcher's gonna hurt there, but he can owl it. But that
Nope.
is game.
Still saw lethal. Well, that was a pretty decisive victory by Phil. Good job,
That was
Phil.
pretty decisive. That was a very exciting match. I guess now we know that that pay to win beats free to play.
Well, that was match
Those
1.
games.
It looks like Matt's strategy of doing something different did not quite work out against
Mhm. Yeah,
Phil and the
I
power
think
of
he was
money.
trying to pick off the decks that had a favorable matchup, but I don't know if that quite worked out. Phil's play was very good. He had a great mid range hand in that Paladin deck. Matt's felt a little slow. The curve was a little awkward, and then in that final game, there were a good 2 to 3 turns there where Matt just did not have any aggressive fuel that he could have used to push onto the board. And when Phil drew that Justicar, that pretty much sealed the game.
I do think that perhaps Matt didn't play that second game fast enough. Like, even though he knew that something would happen to his iffy Blessing of Kings,
Mm-hmm.
playing that and getting that extra 4 damage in was better than not losing as much card advantage when you hero powered and then he brawled. Like,
Mhm.
either way,
Yeah,
you would have lost a lot, but as the Paladin, you're hoping to draw into that Divine Favor, so you want to get rid of all your cards.
Yeah, that brawl felt like a gamble. He was hoping that that Phil didn't have brawl. He did, and that really set him back.
Oh man, okay, so Matt and Derek are coming up. Match 2.
All right.
Derek, I think, also has one loss. Yep, he has one loss. So, Phil with one loss took down Matt, and we'll see if Derek can follow up with the same.
This is really quite the night. We may be shuffling up the top three, top four.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see one undefeated team go, but looks like Matt just the stress of that was too much for Matt.
Well, that is the nature of Hearthstone.
Yes.
Derek's alias.
All right, Derek is I don't know because it doesn't tell me.
I'm gonna go with Gorius since that's the guy that Matt is playing right now.
It is Gorius, yes. All right,
Excellent.
here we go.
All right, something shaman versus aggro paladin. This is an interesting deck. I have not seen a wild pyromancer in a shaman deck, and maybe some mech as well. I don't know what this is.
Your mic.
I don't know. Have you seen Derek play anything with this?
What is this? I have not seen Derek play much, so I couldn't tell you.
Reporting for duty.
Not starting off aggro.
Yeah, Matt's opening hand looks a little rough here. Not a lot of the drops he wants.
Your mic has definitely gone on the fritz. I can still hear you, but it's like you're it's like you're muffled. Yeah, it's odd that he would not. Ooh. Right there, I would have. Oh, maybe he's just hoping for a good consecration hand. That's probably what he's
That
doing.
was pretty powerful. Has the audio recovered? It looked like Skype was having some issues there.
It's still the same. Oh yeah, it might be the call quality, because it does say that it is somewhat like medium. I think you're back.
All right, cool.
Yep, you're good. You're good.
Yep. All right, looks like Matt is.
Going face. So if he wasn't going to do consecration, I find it odd that he would hold the knife jug there.
Well, I think he was going to do consecration until that mechanical yeti got dropped, and then he considered swinging into it, which would be a huge tell for consecrate. So he opted not to do that this turn. And now he's worried again since there's another Drake that he can't clear with that alone. So I think he still has to consecrate here, though.
He does. He does. He has to consecrate. He's not going to consecrate. I don't know what he's doing. Matt's on tilt. Matt's on tilt.
I don't know if it's so much on tilt as he's just not as familiar with the Aggro Paladin deck. This is something he put together, if not today, no earlier than yesterday.
I've done that
So
before.
I don't think he's had a lot of experience with this deck.
It didn't work. And it was Matt who showed me that.
It's a really powerful deck, but it has some luck factor in terms of your draw. And it has infinite struggles against anything that can put up a bunch of taunts.
That's true. That's a struggle I have with any sort of aggro deck. I have a tendency to always try to play mid-range. Which is the same problem I have trying to play control. It feels too slow. I like big threats on the board.
Yeah, so here we're in another situation where Matt really doesn't have any great tempo. You're just going to be able to get something back, but that's just going to get removed next turn.
Yep, looks like Derek's just gonna spend the minion to get rid of it.
Double lightning bolt for the chance to get the fire elemental to face. Wow.
I don't have a ticker. I want to make a ticker. Because match update Alec versus Jabali is 1-1 right now. Or Jabali versus
The
Kano.
victory is yours. Well played.
Yep, and Matt goes ahead and concedes out of that game. So that's first game to Derek.
Well, that is not going well for him.
No, that was very decisive, and there were a lot more threats in hand as well. That was an interesting deck. I'd be interested in seeing that list later. Looked like some sort of just general mid-range shaman with solid cards and the useful spells.
I will fight with honor.
All right, so pretty much full mulligan for both players here, unless Derek
yeah.
keeps the swipe. Yeah, kept the swipe
Against
because he
Paladin,
knows
you
he's up
always keep
against
the
aggro.
swipe.
Yeah. Yeah, Lepernome's good, but Coin Darnassus is better.
Oh, he can't do anything against that. Yeah. Coin Darnassus. Darnassus is such a powerful card.
It really is. It's the ramp tool that Druids needed to be consistent and win all the time, not just part of the time. Yeah, so turn 3 is going to be a Shredder.
Yeah. This Druid is starting off really strong.
Or, hold on, that was, yeah, Spider Tank, there we go.
Oh, right, because he brought it out turn 1. So.
Yeah. Blood Knight. Muster for Battle is not going to help against Swipe, though. This is going to be very painful. He may just go face here.
Wait, you think Derek would go face here?
He can pretty handily clear the board next
Oh,
turn.
right,
so,
with the swipe, yeah.
yeah.
I think that would be a tell, though. I don't know
It
if there's
would.
anything he can do about it, but if he just doesn't clear any of them, that's basically
Interesting.
saying I do have swipe.
Yeah. And that is not the play he's going for. Well, he's not afraid of Quartermaster, it seems. Though he probably figures he can clear the board before that.
Well, he may have just watched the match.
That's very true. And again, once he knows this is Aggro Paladin, he sort of knows what to expect, and Quartermaster is not one of those things.
Turn 5, I'm thinking definitely Druid's Claw.
Yeah.
Probably in
Yeah.
taunt form.
Matt is not happy that he had to take that True Silver Swing to a minion.
Interesting Blood Knight. In an aggro paladin.
I feel like Blood Knight, or at least as a one-up, is a pretty cool choice, since it provides a lot of power against other Paladin matchups. In this case, mid-range Paladin that Phil brought, which he was trying
True.
to tech against. And he can
Definitely
also
tech.
use it to eat his, what's the 1/1 with Divine Shield. I feel like he can get some good value out of that. Three extra stats.
Well, this does not look great.
He could drop the mini-bot, drop the Blood Knight. That would keep at least a couple of things out of swipe range.
That would make, the Blood Knight a high threat.
Though Derek could just change up his plan and silence it. And it's
That's
pretty
true.
reasonable to assume that he's got that Keeper in hand.
Glory to the
Yep, go for it. All right.
He's going for it. Now, is he going to go face, or is he going to take it down?
He's
Going
going
face. Okay.
Well, he can Divine Favor next turn as well and refill his hand, so that'll be pretty nice.
If he gets really lucky, he'll pull a 1-drop.
Mhm.
Like another Leper Gnome or a South Sea. Although, that would mean I am wary of using your weapons, before you have more weapons. Because if you're relying on a South Sea to do something,
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of weapons in his deck, though, and if he's going to refill with at least 3 to 4 cards,
he's
I
expected
think
to
that's a
draw.
safe bet. Yeah. So here's the swipe, and he's going to keep something alive.
And he did have to draw. He did have to use both his minion and his swipe on that. So I feel like that was a good move. Especially
All right,
since
this
the
is
swipe was yeah, there's that one drop. Oh man,
that's what you needed to see.
here's potential.
All right. So 3
And
cards.
it went for
It's
the
not bad.
face. The knife juggler's fighting for him. But there's that
Oh.
South Sea.
Couple of charge cards. That's not bad.
So
But
he
Druid
has
of
to
the
play
Claw
the
is going to
taunt.
hurt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which taunt is he gonna play?
Mm.
He's got the Sledge Belcher, which would kill everything there.
Yeah, I think Belcher wins overall. He can hold the Druid of the Claw for a charge later if he needs it. That versatility is worthwhile.
So Derek's still in a good position,
Mm-hmm.
but if Matt can
Yeah, this
draw
basically
another,
needs to hit the Sledge Belcher here.
Maggot.
yeah,
Doesn't quite.
pull out that Argent.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably worried about another swipe.
I don't think he can.
You can't play around that.
All right, there, he got what he needed. All right, so this is getting scary for Derek, but he can drop the other taunt now,
Ooh.
and feel reasonably safe.
Yeah.
Or he can play the boom and hope that Matt can't close the game with those 2 cards in his hand.
So I don't know if that was the right play. I mean, if he wasn't gonna play the South Sea, I mean, if he was just doing it for hits, I feel like the Argent is better because even if it misses, the Argent can still finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
And if in that case where it did hit, he would have gotten rid of that 1/2 taunt.
All right, so now
is
Matt's
going-
probably going to go to face,
Definitely.
which is scary because we're going to see that taunt connect next
The
turn.
cavalry's here.
But Derek is very low right now.
I mean, he can't play Boombot, so that's good. Ooh, that Innervate is not good.
Where
He has
shall I
nothing he wants to
strike?
play that with. Unless he gets like a swipe next turn, and then he can do Boombot swipe.
He's going to be able to clear some of this, but he is still going to have to get through that bear.
Now, if he... Never mind. I was going to say if he draws an Iron Beak, it's over. Oh, if he draws an Iron Beak, it's over. Nope.
It's a step in the right direction.
Okay, he's going to attack it.
All right.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. I think Sludge Belcher was better than the risky boom there. He's just so low on health.
Definitely. Ooh. Okay, well, Matt needs to draw something to take this. It'd be really funny is if he was worried about like a Hammer of Wrath or something. Ooh, and there's something.
That's Kings.
Yes, Kings it is. Kings and
That's
Arcane
still-
Golem. I
I don't
believe.
think that's enough swings though.
Oh, right, I forgot about the Sledge Belcher.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely taking out the bear. He probably hero power. Yeah, that.
There we go. Takes out the Sludge Belcher. Plays the Golem, and that'll trade without killing it. Or, no, he doesn't have enough mana for that.
For duty.
He's got to play the dude.
He's baiting.
Alright. And then
but
another taunt.
Derek keeps drawing
that's
taunts.
awful.
Where shall I
Wow,
Top decking all these taunts.
And the Boombot play. Okay, well this is probably the last turn. I believe only a...
I don't think there's
I don't
anything
think
you can
anything-
draw at this point. It's not going to do it. Nope.
Nope. Well,
That got close, though. That got really close.
he
That
can...
was scary.
No, he can't stop lethal. Man, Matt got so close.
victory?
Wow.
That was an intense game. I feel like there were quite a few turns there where drawing that owl would have won the game for him.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, never drew the owl, but that was a good divine favor both times.
Yeah, got a lot of cards in that first one. Hold on, time for some hype lights.
Hype lights. Oh man, and Jabali beat Kano.
Whoa,
Wow, 2-1.
Jabali runs good decks.
Jabali does.
That
run
is
good
not a
decks.
surprise. You said he was bringing mid-range hunter now, right? Or is that coming up next week?
That would be coming up next week.
All right.
So this is still as a face hunter paladin. Well, that
Oh,
was
that's Secret Paladin.
great. Okay, now where's Matt? Gotta get that post-match interview.
Everybody goes back.
I like it.
I think it's an accurate representation of what happened this past game. Face versus taunts. I gotta say, Derek got really lucky with
Yeah,
with
pulling
those taunts.
taunt
I think he
after
drew.
taunt.
That was every single taunt in his deck. I think, wasn't it? We saw
taunts, yeah.
2 Sludge Belchers, 2 Druids the Claw. That is not fun.
Wow. All right, Derek. So unfortunately, Matt didn't get a single game victory.
Yeah, crazy, right?
That's unfortunate. I expected him. Honestly, I expected him to win, and he came close to winning.
Yeah, all those games were close.
He
Well, I
made a
guess the-
crucial misplay. I think that first.
Yeah, very
game
first
against
game.
Phil.
But everything else, I feel like he made good plays with the tools he was given, but I feel like the draws were not there.
All right, we're getting Matt or Derek on the line.
All right.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, Derek.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, Bobby, Paul.
Congratulations on your epic
Oh.
victory over Matt.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
those were crazy games.
So did you expect it to go that way? What was that shaman deck you were running?
That's my shaman that has been tweaked heavily through the simulator.
Yes, tell us about this simulator, because you've been hitting that hard.
Yeah, so I found this program that basically has a pretty decent AI and has recreated most of Hearthstone, so you can play games versus the AI. But the interesting part is you can have the AI fight itself with different decks. And if you kind of swap out cards in the decks, you can watch the win rates go up or down and kind of figure out which cards are good in certain matchups and things like that. So there's certain cards that the simulator really likes in particular matchups. And actually the reason why my deck was the way it was because I thought for sure Matt was going to be bringing some kind of warrior. So I thought he was going to be bringing like Grim Patron warrior or something like that. So my deck was loaded up with cards the simulator said was good against Grim Patron, like Sludge Belcher and
Well, it turns out
Druid.
those cards were very good against the aggro that Matt was bringing. Because at the end there, he totally had lethal. If you hadn't drawn those, 3 or 4 taunts in a row? Like, that
Yeah,
was
so,
crazy.
Yeah, I had taunts for basically forever, and if Matt got like an owl or something, I was probably dead.
Yes, we were waiting for that owl, but never materialized, unfortunately.
I kept
Yeah, that
debating,
was nerve-wracking.
I kept debating using, because I knew he ran the Arcane Golems because I saw them in his match against Bill earlier. So I kept debating just hero powering and punching his face instead of clearing minions. But then I was also worried that he was going to draw equality. And I figured the Arcane Golem couldn't get through as long as I had a taunt. But if he drew equality and I left a minion on the field, then he could kill my taunt with the equality plus the 1/1 or whatever. and then the Arcane Golem would get through. So I decided to play around equality instead of play around like Owl or something like that.
Yep. Well, it seems like it worked out all right for you.
Matt, are you on? Well, it looks like he's in the call, but maybe his mic doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good games. Who else did you play this week, Derek?
I had a bye this week,
Oh,
so
okay,
that
so-
was my only match this week.
Well,
But
with
I got
that-
kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Because both.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying go on. I'm just updating the bracket.
Like in the Shaman game, I had turn 1 Zombie Chow into turn 2 Wild Pyromancer, which is pretty tough for Aggro Paladin. And then in the Druid game, my start wasn't quite as strong. It was still pretty good. I mean, Coin Darnassus Aspirant and stuff is pretty good. But then I got lucky in that one, just drawing a whole bunch of taunts in a row, basically.
Yep, good games nonetheless.
Sorry.
I'd love to see the full list for that Shaman deck, actually. That was something that we were trying to figure out for most
Yeah,
of the
I can
match.
show
Seeing
you.
some mechs, seeing some spells. The Wild Pyromancer was a really interesting include as well.
Here,
Yeah.
you can see I'll screen share with you. You can see the list. It's not like it's a secret, and it will probably change by next week. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can. At least I can.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What are we looking at there? I suppose there's no way to zoom in.
Yeah, so it's a type of mech shaman, looks like.
It is a sort of mech shaman, except the only mechs in it are Mech Warper, Mechanical Yeti, Piloted Shredder, and Spider Tank. So there's no
Well,
like
that's still
Annoyatron, no Power Mace. What's up?
Okay.
That's enough to ramp you through turn 3 into turn 4, so that seems like a pretty
Yeah.
solid set.
So again, these are like card choices that have been recommended by the simulator for the most part. So it really likes Mechanical Yeti and Piloted Shredder just as 4-drops. And it likes Spider Tank as a 3-drop just kind of in general. And so because all of those cards are good, Mech Warper gains value. And sometimes you randomly have like a late game turn, like early turns sometimes you play like Totem Golem and then you Earthshock something. And maybe you play a Lightning Storm or something. And then around turn 5 or 6, your hand is like Mech Warper, Spider Tank, Mechanical Yeti. And on turn 6, you just like play 4 or 5 mechs. So that happens sometimes too.
This is
Oh, I like
really,
that
really
list.
nice deck just
I
looking
might
at the full
try
list.
that, because I
Yeah.
think I have all those cards. So that's cool. I'm definitely gonna try that.
It's also crazy, like against very aggressive decks. Like it's very good against Secret Paladin, for example, because with the Wild Pyromancers and the Lightning Storm, like you can clear lots of 1/1s, and then you have Hex for Mysterious Challenger after he gets buffed by Avenge. Earthshock is really good against Avenge. Like if a 1/1 gets Avenge, you can Earthshock it and it dies.
Yeah, Earthshock in general is really good.
Yeah,
I definitely wish other classes had something like that.
It's also pretty good against like Handlock, because Earthshock destroys Twilight Drakes and Hexes get Giants, and and then if they tap too low, you have Lightning Bolt, Crackle, and a whole bunch of spell power. So you can just like do 15 damage and spells to their face all of a sudden, and they just die.
Basically, you go full Sith on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You basically just save all the direct damage spells until they make a mistake and tap too low, and then you roll a spell power totem or have an Azure Drake in play, and then you just shoot them in the face for a whole bunch. But it's pretty bad against Dragon Priest.
Ooh. But
So-
that hasn't been very prevalent in the league so far.
That's true.
That's true.
It's occasional, but
And it's not like the match is unwinnable, but if they play the like Wormrest Agent and the 3/6 guy, you don't really have good answers to that. Like you don't want to hex a 3/6 because they're surely going to play like Ysera or something like that later on. But you don't really have other good answers to the 3/6. Maybe Crackle and hope you roll high, like that sort of thing.
yeah, Dragon Priest just has really solid minions on curve in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get around that curve though and survive into the mid to late game, I feel like this deck would be able to pick the tempo back up pretty quickly. It's got a lot of combos that I'm seeing like that. like you mentioned, just a big mech turn, or even clearing the board.
Hey,
Yeah.
Did you say that Ken beat Hunter 2-1? Was that a thing that happened? I couldn't remember from earlier. I'm trying to fill in the brackets to get the most updated picture.
Hunter seemed salty in chat, so
Probably. Well, okay, that's not as important. Okay, let's see. Derek beat Matt 2-0. That could come back to haunt someone later. I mean, it might not be as important if you're in the top 3, but when you get closer to the 8th or 7th to 10th range, those per game stats are going to be super important for determining who makes it into the playoffs at the end of the year.
we're having playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to have a playoffs top 8.
Oh, nice.
It's basically going to be so the season will end, I believe, on December, the beginning, like the Sunday, the beginning of the week of the IGO Christmas party. So the 11th or the 13th. And then, like, 2 days later, probably on, like, a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to set it up with Josh to just have a 8-player single elimination tournament that night. And that'll be the top 8. Got some prizes.
That sounds cool.
I don't know if I've told everyone, but Nick has a friend at Blizzard, and we were able to get some free packs to give out. And
Oh, very exciting.
we got a plushie.
Yeah,
A
I need
plushie.
those because
It's a
I have
little-
no dust.
Ha!
It's like
There
if you
you
take
go.
a look here in crafting,
It's all gone.
yeah, I literally have 0 dust, and I've got like no cards either. So like if you look at my collection here, like here's my hunter collection.
It's pretty sparse.
So you disenchant all your cards to make your decks, don't you?
I disenchant everything that I've got except the cards that my shaman and druid cards for running these 2 decks basically. I also have enough cards to have a bad priest.
So that's the opposite of Matt's approach.
What do you do if
Matt
you want
does
to like
not
make a new
disenchant.
deck? Do you just
He
just
makes a new
not?
shaman or druid deck.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
so.
So actually, this is cool. So this is a deck I used to play a long time ago that I think is good in the current meta. So I've been thinking of trying to bring it back, but basically Miracle Druid.
Oh,
Get some auctioneers, some moonfires, some innervates.
Yeah. So basically, there's a number. So I used to play this deck a long time ago. I haven't tried it since Darnassus Aspirant and stuff became a thing. But basically, there's a whole bunch of combos where you can randomly have these giant game-ending turns where you do things like, Violet Teacher, Innervate, Mark of the Wild, Power of the Wild, or something like that. And then you suddenly have this enormous board of like a 4/6, a 4/4, and 3 2/2s, and plus you kill a bunch of their stuff. You also have Wild Pyromancers, so like Moonfire, right? Backstab from the Rogue is generally considered a good card. 0, deal 2 damage. If you have Wild Pyromancer in play or Blood Mage Thalnos, then it becomes 0 mana, deal 2 damage to one creature and 1 damage to all their other creatures, which lines up great if they've got like a shielded mini bot and a bunch of 1/1s out or something like that.
so you should
I
totally
think you're
play
definitely
Miracle.
someone that's taken more advantage of Wild Pyromancer than most people in the meta right now, which is really interesting to see.
Especially
Well,
since
you
it's got
couldn't-
such anti-aggro tech.
You couldn't play Wild Pyromancer until now because it's so bad against Grim Patron.
That's true.
It's literally worse than useless against Grim Patron. It makes it so if they have a patron out, you can no longer cast spells. But now that Grim Patron is much less prevalent in the meta, maybe it's a chance to bring back the Wild Pyromancer shenanigans.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I'd like to see you bring Miracle Druid to 1 week of the tournament here.
I
It'd
might
be pretty fun to watch.
I might wind up doing that at some point, depending on how some testing goes. The simulator actually has a bug where choose 1 spells don't count as spells. So like if you swipe something, you don't get a token off of your Violet Teacher, and you don't get wild pyromancer triggers and things like that. So I unfortunately can't really use
It's got
the
flaws.
simulator to do this.
Well, congratulations, Derek.
Well, thank
Uh,
you.
Looking at the board, you are solidly in third still. It's actually got Max one ahead of you, and that's because he's got one more game win than you. So in one of his losses, he must have gotten a 2-1. Phil has moved back to his preferred spot at number 1 because he's 8-1 now, because he hasn't had a bye yet. And Matt slips to 6th place with a 7-2 record. Yeah.
Wow, that hurt.
It placed Magnuson and Ryan above him because of game point wins. So if Matt had won any of his games tonight, he probably would still be ahead of them. But he's getting dangerously close to that 8-win line. So he's going to have to, go home, rethink, and come back strong next week against Carl. No, not Carlo. It's already been played.
Yeah, seems like that nerf to Grim Patron hit Matt particularly hard.
Because I don't think he
He
has
was
a Grom.
one of the only players,
was-
I think, who was bringing that consistently.
He was telling me how Grim Patron wasn't dead, and he had a Grim Patron Warrior deck that he was enjoying.
Yeah,
So
he
I
was
thought
probably mind gaming you. Because he knew
Well,
you
Yeah,
to
maybe.
be honest, I got a little bit of inside info from Matt this week on that as well. And the big reason he didn't want to bring that deck this week is because he does not have the dust for Grom. And that's the big kill factor in that deck. And without that, he felt it just didn't quite have that potential it needed to take some of these very high-profile matches.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, he's going up against Nick and Ken next week. Ken, I think, is going to be sort of a wild card match because Ken's been doing quite well. I'm not sure how. I don't think he was terribly high in the standings, but against some matches that I thought he was going to lose, he ended up winning. And Derek is up against Paul next week. Oh, snap.
Oh boy. Yeah, Derek. So maybe instead of bringing those good decks, maybe now is the time to try out some
Innovative warrior decks.
Yes. Bobby has some ideas with those. Just consult him. 'Cause maybe just take out the hobgoblins, though. We don't really need any surprise factors in there.
But definitely keep the angry chicken.
Yeah, keep the angry chicken. That's fine.
If
I feel like. Yeah.
maybe one of these days I can run a hobgoblin deck. I would like to do that, but I need to get a bunch of dust in order to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are epics, aren't they?
Yes, they are. It was quite the leap to try that. But
Yeah, like
I liked how it turned out. I just feel like it didn't do enough, so it needs a little more love.
Blizzard, I feel like they haven't done a very good job with rarity of cards specifically. Like there's a lot of other stuff that I think they did a great job with, but there's a lot of cards that it's like, why is this an epic or why is this a rare versus why is this other one common?
Well,
It just
I
doesn't
think
make a lot of sense.
I think part of the reasoning there, at least just skimming over the cards in general, is the commons seem like just solid cards that you want to include in pretty much everything. I mean, we saw that particularly with the Goblins versus Gnomes expansion. You could make a mech deck out of nothing but commons. But then when you get up into the rare and particularly the epic tier, these are cards that aren't necessarily good in everything, but they're very interesting. They inspire you to want to try new things. And when you're at that level of the game where it's like, I've played a lot of these good decks. I want to try something crazy and new. I guess I better buy some packs so I can craft these epics because these things are kind of a hassle. that's really what I think the value of the epic cards are for things like Hobgoblin or
Mysterious
some
Challenger.
Mysterious Challenger,
but-
or a lot of the weird priest cards like Shadow Bomber, which is
Yeah.
a one drop epic, but it's got a very particular niche, and you feel like you need it to try that niche out.
But they're super inconsistent about that, right? Like some of the build around me cards, like Bolster, for example, are common. Bolster's a card that only goes in like 2 decks. It only would get played if you're playing some kind of taunt heavy deck with like the new warrior card that taunts things up and like a bunch of other taunts or whatever. But it's a common card. Whereas like
Well, I think
Hobgoblin,
That's
is
a
almost
rare.
the exact same.
Yeah,
The Spartan Partner's
I-
rare.
Wait,
yeah. I
Bolster?
think Bolster.
Oh, Bolster's a common. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
the
I think-
Spartan Partner's a rare.
no,
That
Sparring
makes
Partners.
sense though. I
but
feel like they wanted
why-
to make taunt warrior a thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because like Hobgoblin is the same kind of card that Bolster is.
Yes.
If you're arguing that they need to be rare because they only go in like certain decks and you don't want them in every deck, then Bolster shouldn't be a common, right? If on the other hand you're saying that they should be easily accessible because you want people to be able to play around with these decks, then Hobgoblin should be a common.
Oh, by the
Hobgoblin
way,
goes in every class though.
Paul, Matt says to answer your phone.
Oh, I wonder where my phone is. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's interesting because you would think it would be consistent.
Hello.
Yeah. Anyways,
What's up?
not a big deal.
Well, that was a great run, and we're probably gonna sign off soon. So
Okay.
good luck in your
Um,
future matches this week, Derek.
Yep.
Thank you much.
Nice
Later, guys.
games, Derek.
Bye.
All right, we got Matt on the phone right now.
Oh snap!
He Skype doesn't work, but he's gonna try to talk through my phone into the microphone and see if we can have an interview.
Okay. Can I even hear him through the phone?
All right, let's find out. Ready? Here we go. Matt, say something.
You're holding the wrong end.
Actually, hold on. Let me put it on speakerphone. All right, try now.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we can hear him.
All right, yeah, we can hear you.
You're gonna have to run this, Paul, because he can't hear me.
All right, Matt. So that was definitely a pretty painful day for you. We were just talking about the rankings, and it looks like you are down to 6th place on the leaderboards based on match wins and to game wins. So how you feeling after that?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I feel like Derek and Phil are the hardest two opponents in the league, and I actually expected to go 0-2 today.
Oh, wow.
So you already came in feeling like you were going to lose. That explains a lot. Oh, right, you can't hear me.
I didn't feel like I was going to lose.
Yeah,
I felt
me
like
too.
it was the most likely outcome. I tried pulling a strategy with the aggro paladin to sneak in some wins.
Yeah, tell us about
I knew
that. What was the mindset going into that deck? Because that's not something we've seen from you before.
So I knew no one would be expecting it from me, and it's actually somewhat favored against what I expected both Derek and Phil to bring.
I know you were.
Like, especially versus the control warrior, I was really close to killing him in that game, and I just sputtered on a bunch of tech cards in the mid game. If I had gotten one more piece of gas, I would have just run him over.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 turns there that you just drew nothing helpful, and then he got his Justicar down, and that sort of turned it around.
Right. And even at the end of the game, I think I had him down to something like 6.
Yeah, it was within lethal of the buffed minion you had on the board.
Yeah. So even with like 3 or 4 turns of drawing nothing, that was still a pretty close game. If
Absolutely.
I had pulled a shielded minibot or especially an Argent Horse Rider, because I could have buffed it while I charged it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, any of your charges, any of your weapons.
Yeah, I think that would have ended another way. And then I think following that, the mid-range hunter is also favored against control warrior, so I would have had a good shot of pulling that one out.
So tell us about that very first game, though, that Paladin versus Paladin, because I know right at the end there, you made a play where you swung into one of his minions, which ended
lost
up
it, yeah.
keeping you 1 point of damage from lethal the following turn. What do you, if you remember that? Was there any reasoning behind that? We were trying to figure that out here on the stream.
Okay, so my plays in the mid game there, which would be the no turn and the prior Unleash the Hound turn, were both aimed around him not being able to make good trades for my minions and take control of the board. So both of those would have, if he had nothing in hand to finish off a minion, would have left something on the board, and I would get a lot more damage out of that. It's possible I should have swung in his face with the bow, but I also didn't know that I would be getting an owl off the web spinner.
That's
That's
very
off the
fair.
draw.
Yeah,
And
cool.
then drawing straight into a kill command for
Yeah,
that one-off lethal.
yeah. That was a pretty good bit of fortune there. Unfortunately, it's not really something that you can plan for.
Yeah, it's okay. I got the BM thank you emote in.
Yeah, that's important.
But yeah, well, I think my only out from there would have been to draw into quick shot and then into more damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quick shot would have been something else.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. We did want to see you win because,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, we
Phil's
would have
only
liked to
gonna
see
be number one.
the infinite win streak continue, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it does seem that pay to win is superior over free to play.
I told Phil before I started these matches, I wanted to either go 2-0 or 0-2 because it makes the best story.
And
Just
that
like
it
Meteor
does.
fall from the top.
Yep. Well, you're not out of it yet, so we'll see if you can claw your way back up in the coming weeks, and hopefully we'll have a very exciting tournament bracket sometime in December.
Yeah, I think I'll make the top 8.
All right. Well,
You win the rest of
all
your
good.
matches.
yeah, we look forward to that.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you, Matt.
Yep. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Well, that was fun. Thank you, Paul, for filling in. I thought that was quite good. Maybe we'll
My
have to
pleasure.
alternate
This
it.
was great.
I liked that we classed it up a little.
Yep. I think it's important. It's Hearthstone's a respectable, reputable event, so we should dress accordingly once in a while.
World Championships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
it's been going on this week, right?
That was, yeah. They went from top 16 down to top 8, and whenever BlizzCon is, that will be the final top 8.
That is
showdown.
this weekend, so it's something to
Right.
get excited about.
I believe we're gonna have the tournament either the 15th or the 16th, and that will be something to look forward to.
All right.
Because whoever makes it into that is obviously going to be the ones that we want to watch. Yeah, so I'm gonna get off now, but thanks for watching, anyone that watched.
Good stream.
And
Thanks, everybody.
We'll do this again next Monday.